Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live show for New Spring by Robert Jordan, the prequel in the Wheel of Time series. We are reading this as the 11th book in the series, so we're reading it after book 10, but I believe you can kind of read it at any point. I don't really think we're going to be talking about spoilers for the rest of the series in this live show. If everyone wants to stick around for like a general Wheel of Time discussion, because I'm pretty sure this is not relevant to anything. Like, nothing that happens in here is relevant to anything.
I mean, like it's relevant to the Dragon Reborn.
Well, it gives backstory on like some characters, but I don't think it affects anything like where we are right now.
Yes.
Because I was thinking, I was like, oh, are we going to find out something in this book that we would never know unless we read this book? Nothing.
I don't understand why they said you shouldn't read it until at least after book 8.
Yeah, no.
Oh, book 8. I couldn't remember where it was.
Who said that?
I feel like... I don't know. I thought this...
Me?
Someone said you shouldn't read it until after a certain point, and I was pretty sure it was book 8. But I don't see how it spoiled literally anything for the entire series that we've read.
I saw Daniel Green say he recommended not reading it before book 1, but then also wait for the slog to give yourself a break. That was his reasoning for putting it in between 8 and 10.
I'm going to look at the Wheel of Time character thing if I can find it on my phone.
Did you have a rough time, Amberly, since there was no Matt?
I did, but I mainly had a rough time because I've been sick all week, and I finished this audiobook at 1:57 p.m. today, so it's fresh.
I've been on sprints all day. Where have you been?
Finishing New Spring and sleeping on cold medicine. Basically all I've been doing all week.
I'll accept it, just this once.
So, ratings? I will go first.
Who go first?
I decided. Yeah, because you were busy, so I would just go first.
Okay.
Go for it.
Because when the first time I read it, I gave it 5 stars. But now I give it 4. Because, honestly, I was a bit bored. I was just like... Because I think the first time I read it, it was like, oh my god, the tower, oh my god, Asa died. But now it's just like... I don't really care. I just wanted more Lan, and there was not enough Lan in this book to be a prequel with Lan and Moraine. It was not enough Lan.
Yeah, so, I'm mad at you all because you all promised me Lan when I was like, do we find out more about Lan? You were all like, yeah, New Spring, all about Lan. Where was Lan?
I'm sorry. Apparently I remember wrong. So I was disappointed, and I gave it a 4. If I had been more Lan, I would have given it a 5.
You disappointed yourself.
I disappointed myself. That was what I got to say.
I give it a low 4. I give it a low 4. I think after the slog, this was refreshing because we had less characters we had to follow. It was easier to follow all of that. I wanted more Lan, and I wanted slightly less of the slice of life cozy mystery feel, or not cozy mystery, cozy fantasy feel, which there were places where I felt like it got too slow. It was like, okay, we're writing down another person, we're writing down another potential dragon, and I don't know, but it was a nice refresher after the slog.
I gave it a 3-star, -1 star because I was more bored than I was during the slog, and -1 star because there's no map.
Valid.
That's pretty valid reasons, I would say.
I gave it a 3. I thought that it was enjoyable but pointless, so I couldn't give it more than a 3. I was like, it didn't add anything for me to the actual like story, but it was enjoyable to read. I was just like, what's the point? You know.
Should be. I just skipped it.
You got to see Moraine acting like a child. I mean, there's that.
True. I was wondering if the thing that we found out in this that we wouldn't find out anywhere else was that Cadsuane was Black Aja, but she's not. It's just something Moraine thinks. So we didn't even discover that.
If you read this before you read the whole series, and then you just think throughout the whole thing that Katswain is the Black Aja until you actually meet her.
I was reading about the... Yeah, Amberly did read it first. Didn't you really like it the first time you read it?
Yes, but this was also 14 years ago now. So I remember liking it a lot more than I liked it now.
Yeah, because I remember you saying that it was like amazing, and that's why you read the rest. You wanted to read the rest of the series.
Yep, I don't feel that way. I think if I reread the series again, I would just skip this one. I mean, I will reread the series again, but I will just skip this one.
I did enjoy it in terms of getting a little bit of backstory on Moraine and also Lan. Like, it was enjoyable. I just thought, because it's not advised that you read it first, I thought that it was going to give me something interesting that I didn't already know. And because I kind of went into it with that expectation, I felt underwhelmed by it.
My biggest memory from reading it back then was how much I loved the White Tower setting. So I really thought that we got more White Tower setting just because that's what I remembered the most. So I was disappointed when there wasn't as much White Tower setting.
I guess we found out like some Aes Sedai secrets that we don't know in the main series right now, like the final test, like how the rod is, because like the people in the main series right now, they haven't like taken the oath rod yet. So I guess that we reveal some Aes Sedai secrets that we don't know, but that's basically the only thing we don't know.
I think one of my favorite parts was the Aes Sedai final test, because we never got to see that in the main series, because they basically just skipped it.
Well, they didn't skip it, they just haven't done it yet because they're not in the tower.
Yeah, but they're basically going around being called Aes Sedai, but we never really got to see them tested for it. So it feels like they just kind of skipped that all-important step, and we finally got to see it.
Yeah, but that's because they don't have access to the rods right now, so I feel like... I mean, I don't know. I'll just stop talking. I'm hiding. I was just looking.
You're holding?
I'm holding the next Wheel of Time one because I wanted to compare the sizes, and like the font in the next one is so small compared to like New Spring. Like they made the New Spring font huge, and it's still like 400 pages long. So the next one we have is like 790.
Beautiful.
I'm excited. I'm ready to get back to it.
I feel like everyone is
I'm excited to be post-long.
I did feel like I was more connected to this one a little bit, and I was following it a lot better because obviously, like, it's before the series, so everything that's happening, like, I already know all the world building, all of like the majority of the characters, so it was a lot easier to read than like book 10. But I'm not looking forward to getting back in there. I'm not looking forward to seeing Rand again.
Oh, who cares about Rand? I get to see Matt again.
I just love, like, we feel like we're all in jail. How many do we have left? We have 4 left, which is not even that many.
But it's still another 8 months of my life, and that is why I'm drinking wine tonight.
I'm so happy that Becca said yes, and she's so excited to be here. But she said yes. I mean, I'm so happy that I forced Becca to join, and that she's so excited to be here.
I will remind everyone again, I did try saying no.
I'm excited enough for the both of us every time, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's why we had to.
Well, it's easing us back in because the next one's only 32 hours on audiobook, and then they keep getting longer until we finish. So the last one's 42.
It's the last one by Jordan. Rest in peace.
Oh, I thought there was 2 more.
No.
Okay.
This is the last one with Jordan and the last 3 as Sanderson. So
the audiobook that I listened to, I didn't realize it was on Everand, so I listened to it there. But it weirdly has like an extra sentence at the end of the book that isn't in the print copy. And also then has like an afterword by Robert Jordan in which he says ghetto tattoos. And I'm like...
my audiobook did not have an afterword.
Yeah, and it's not in the print copy either. I can't even remember. He's talking about how a lot of authors, serious authors, don't like their books to be labeled as fantasy, but he's happy about, like, he's proud of the fact that he writes fantasy, and then he said compared writing fantasy to having ghetto tattoos. And I was like...
But honestly, he had an afterword in mind too, but he did not say those things. He said something completely else. I'm not joking. He said something completely else.
Yeah, my audio ends with epilogue, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, we have established that he only survived one more book after this, so we got to give him some slack. He was up there.
That's why I was confused about the afterword, because I don't know how he died. I know that he died, obviously, but I don't know how he died. I don't know if he was sick or anything. And I'm like, it feels like the penultimate book you published, it feels weird for that one to be one with an afterword when he's so much more like younger, like when he did the other ones and I guess more active and stuff. But
he had to make up for the lack of a 3-hour prologue by tacking on some extras at the end.
I envy you. I wish I could start 2025 Wheel of Timeless.
I wish I could start the entire series over without ever having read it again.
Wow. I mean, there's always one, right?
You guys are incredible. I love that you're all so excited and happy to be here.
Amberly is, you know what? I'm on Team Amberly for this one. Stop disregarding Amberly's excitement. Amberly is excited to be here.
I am excited to be here. I'm hosting this thing.
I'm excited to get to the Sanderson.
I watched a TBR recently where somebody said, Sandra, that you were joining a buddy read for a book that you didn't want to read just because you wanted to join it. So I don't know if to be here.
It was bone season, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But it's because I read the books and then I was doing a buddy read and I wanted to join. And then Rose saw that I gave it the latest book. I was just like, favorite in the series. And I gave it to Sons. Everyone was like, why are you here? And I'm like, I don't know. I just wanted friends.
I just like to be here.
I just like to be here.
So what's the next hated series you're going to be joining in? You know?
No, now I joined Bone Season, and now I'm reading Wheel of Time. I think that's enough.
Okay.
I'm sure. I don't believe you, but we'll see. What do we have to discuss about this one? Come on, Sandra, lead the discussion.
Sorry. I'm just like looking in the next one. This book made me ship Moraine and Lan more than Nynaeve.
I thought you said this.
What's happening?
I thought you said this book made me shit. I was like, it wasn't that exciting.
No, it made me ship Moraine and Lan more than Lan and Nynaeve, and that annoyed me.
Yeah, I also got those vibes from the way they were like so like it reminded me of Nynaeve, and obviously having the same audiobook narrator doesn't help because it's literally the same woman and they don't change the voices very much for the different characters. So I definitely got those vibes as well. But also because obviously I've seen the first season of the show and I know that is a thing in the show, and from listening to this there was obviously like little lines that made me see that, but then I don't think Robert Jordan would ever do it.
Yeah, but it's like something when you search them up on like the official Wikipedia, it says that they were pillow friends, which means that they were
friends.
Yeah, that was in their book.
It's directly like implied, and they state that it's no one's business but an Aes Sedai is what happens with their pillow friends.
Yes, that was the line. And I was like,
and that means in that world that they were fucking.
Yeah.
Damn. So maybe that's why Moraine and Lan were never a thing.
I mean, in the series, they are like still doing it. They were just mad and they were like, and I was like, ooh. I'm sorry, I've been also live all day and I feel a bit unhinged.
I saw a man say on Facebook that Wheel of Time was too feminist and too woke.
But I feel like it is a series that Robert Jordan thought was too feminist and too woke. Like he thought he was breaking the chains.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
throws a lot in our head.
He throws a lot of one-liners in, like making fun of men and all of these things, but it comes across as he's trying, not necessarily that he's succeeding at feminism.
I mean, he did try to make it like what you call patriotic world where like the women have the power.
Matriarchal.
Like, you get like some dude on Facebook could be really hurt by this, that the man don't have the proper power. I understand. It's a difficult world.
Moraine does say that Lan is too tall for her, and that was such an odd like thing. She's like, "Oh no, he's too tall." If that's his only flaw, then maybe go for it, girl.
Sorry, I was thinking about things that are gonna happen, and I'm very curious about how you guys will react to it. I'm not gonna say it obviously. It came to me now.
What came to you now?
Spoilers for the future in the next 8 months of your life.
Oh.
Because it's just so random, and I was like, so I wonder how.
I actually with this one, because I had like 2 hours left of the audio while I was doing my Patreon readathon this weekend. So I like listened and read, like I immersive read it essentially, like I listened to the audiobook and read along at the same time. So much better that way, because then I can put it on 3 times speed, so I'm not getting annoyed at how slow it's going. And also I'm retaining more because I retain more with my eyeballs and my ears. But then thinking of doing that for like 30 hours of like the next book is just not.
But it's not 30 hours if you take it to 3 times speed, and it's like 10.
No, but I did it for 2 hours, and that was a long time.
I was doing that for every single book.
It's intense.
I've been doing the ends of them that way, and maybe the beginning, and once in a while in the middle, but mostly it's just me.
I think I'll still have it as my regular audiobook, so when I'm out like walking Brie and stuff, I'll still just listen to it. But then if I'm at home, it just ruins it because I tend to read Wheel of Time alongside other things, and if I'm immersive reading it, then I actually have to prioritize it at times when I sit down. And I don't know. That only works if I care about what I'm listening to, and I don't really like. I know this is controversial because a lot of people really like these narrators. I don't love them. Like, they're fine, but I don't love them, and so I just start thinking about like what I need to buy from Asda and stuff instead.
Do you think you're enjoying these more or less than First Law?
Less. Like, I thought definitely less.
Oh yeah, because I remember I asked Becca to rank her like the read-alongs she has joined, and this was like on the bottom.
No, it wasn't. Ursula K. Le Guin is the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Just above Earthsea.
Are we not above the Witchlands?
Yeah. Although we had some entertaining discussions though.
Yeah. It says we're gonna have party for the last live. We should just invite Gavin since he has read the last book, and that's how we will party.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. And have drinks.
Mm-hmm. I'm drinking water because I'm thirsting to death. Because I had a really salty dinner.
The serotonin boost just of finishing the last book is going to be party atmosphere to begin with.
I'm going to be sad.
We'll be here to comfort you with our cheer. Hi, Bree.
Roles will be reversed. You'll always be super happy and I'll be sad.
But Dan,
don't love them, realizing they do Shades of Magic as well.
Yeah, but only book 2 and 3.
Shades of Magic is in V. Schwab.
Yeah, but only book 2 and 3 because I had a different narrator for the first book, and then they changed it for the second and third book. Just gonna add that there. So I couldn't get a hold of the first book on audio because it's like super weird, like it wasn't audible, etc. So I had to always read that with my eyes, and then I listened to the second and third. I don't think they're that bad there, honestly. But I really like Michael Kramer and Kate Redding, so.
I do too.
I just I like audio narrators that really perform the audiobooks, and they don't really for me, especially because with so many characters in Wheel of Time, the voices for each character isn't different enough. Like I'm always going to throw it back to the narrator of Red Rising. Yeah, because he like instantly I can tell who is speaking from the voice that he's using. I don't have to pay attention to like Severo said, Darrow said, because I can tell with his voice like who it is, like in conversation. And because there's so many characters in Wheel of Time, I don't think that for me personally they do a good enough job of differentiating between the characters. for me to follow it well enough on audio.
I just like Michael Kramer a lot. Like, he reads Mistborn, and I listen to Mistborn, and every time I reread them, I listen to them. So I know that he doesn't have different voices, as you say, but I find his voice comforting for me, I guess. But I do understand what you mean. Oh, I'm listening to, what's it called? The Flame and the Dagger. It's like it's fabulous YA shit. And Freddie Carter reads the dude's point of view, who plays Kat Brecker in Shadow and Bone. Because I didn't know when I started to listen to it, and I was like, where I heard his voice before, and it's said on like the cover, like read by Freddie Carter, and I was like, but he like whisper talks when he narrates the audiobook, and I'm like, why is he talking like this?
I hate whisper talking.
I don't know how to describe it.
I tried to listen to Queen Bee, which is narrated by the Bridgerton Penelope, her, and her narration style is like, every word that she says is like so dramatic and emphasized like this. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Can you keep speaking like that, please?
No, I can't.
Please.
I would like graphic audio of this series would be cool, but very expensive and very long.
Yeah.
But they would earn it back because everyone wants to listen to the audiobook of these.
True.
I would have liked to have listened to these, but I knew that I was going to finish the series before she did, and I can't. If I start listening to something on audio, like, I would continue, and then if it changed, it would be confusing, so I just didn't. Can you stop eating that? Children. I think Sandra's trying to get a water refill and she's disappointed.
No, I'm getting water refill, and I made someone else close the door because I was cold.
I don't mind Michael Kramer as a narrator. I'm fine. Like, I read the Sanderson books all with him. He's the narrator for every single big series, and that's where it gets confusing for me. And even randomly, like an indie author, he'll be the narrator for that indie author. I'm like, there are other narrators out there. Let's have some variety.
But he's so good. That's why.
It's like, I can't currently listen to Brandon Sanderson audiobooks. I know that he does them all, and because I'm also listening to Wheel of Time, I'll get confused.
Yeah.
Because I'll just be like, oh, Matt's speaking. It's like, that's not what I'm listening to right now.
He also narrates Daniel Green's books.
That's because Daniel Green is a huge fan of Wheel of Time. So we hire them.
Yeah.
That would be a party. We invite Daniel Green to the last live show.
He and Amberly can rave, and the rest
they can have a party.
Yeah, see, I'm still on this train. I'm still on this. That Moraine isn't not come back to life. She never died. Never died.
She's dead.
No.
I stand by that. I stand by the fact that she's dead. We should make a bet.
But then it's even like, if she's dead, why are you bringing me a prequel about her? Like, I've forgotten about her now.
That's true. It's really late in the series to do the
She
prequel.
died like 5 books ago.
He probably missed her.
She's the face of the show. She has her own prequel. She narrates the audiobooks. Like, she can't be dead.
I think he just was really sad he killed her and he made a mistake.
So he can bring her back because she's not dead. So, like, perfect. Everyone's a winner.
Do you think
or Sanderson could say, he screwed up. I'm fixing it. Look, she's back.
Like, he didn't actually kill her. She went into a bracelet dimension, so she could come back at any point. If he decides that he made a mistake, just bring her back from the bracelet dimension.
Zab, do you think she's dead?
I don't think she's dead. I have hope for her return.
You outvoted Amberly. You're the only one who doesn't think she's dead.
Okay, but you're not allowed to voice your opinion because you've read it before. So
no, I meant everyone in the comments and Deb and Becca think she's not dead. I'm not counting in here.
That's like a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. I'm saying everyone is voting. That's what I said. You outvoted.
Well, I guess assign me a punishment if I'm wrong. Make a bet.
That sounded so kinky.
Can always
For
feel each other.
our final party, who has to take the shots for being wrong about character deaths?
Wait, isn't Swan now into, is it Gareth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hope Moraine doesn't come back then.
But
Swan's feeling the Gareth tingles now, not the Moraine tingles.
that also sounds naughty.
It was supposed to.
But I mean,
Moraine
we
is
know
a bad
Jordan
person.
is not above people sharing their partners, so
Very
she
true.
can have both.
What else can we say about this book? We were in the tower.
Would that mean that Lanfear is still alive? Maybe. For the comment, sorry.
Yeah.
Unless Moraine killed her in the bracelet dimension and Moraine appears victorious.
I like that you said in the beginning, you can just be here, we're not going to spoil all the books, and then we're just like, Moraine is dead.
Like,
No, Moraine's in the bracelet dimension, actually.
But she's
just
not
gave me a
dead.
flash.
So.
you
Everybody
just gave me a
who's
flash
played
of like
Hero
a Mortal Kombat victory screen, but it's Moraine.
Right, what were we going to say about this book?
We were
I
going
feel
to
like
say
we
that
were done talking about this book after like the first 15 minutes.
Less than that. It was literally like 3 stars, 4 stars. This book was pointless. This is the next book we're reading.
Yeah.
no, we need to go back to the book. We only been here for 26 minutes.
I did think that Lanfear had made a reappearance, but I have not been paying attention enough in the last 3 books to have been confident in that, so I didn't say it.
But you could check in the thing.
I know, but last time I was doing that, I missed what everyone was saying because it took me ages to find what I was looking for.
I can't remember who it is now, but I thought that I already figured out in the last book who the reincarnated 2 were, and it wasn't her.
That would require me having a memory.
Yeah, it's.
Oh my god, I've just noticed how many people in this directory start with lady. And I'm like, just start with their actual names, not like lady. It's a good job that I know that, otherwise I never would have thought to look for them with lady at the start.
The search isn't helping me find him, unless that's not how his name is spelled.
Lanfear isn't in the list.
Mm-mm.
No, but Lanfear, maybe it's because she has another name.
But what is her other name?
Oh, and it should be Lanfear.
Didn't one of the guys Lan travelled with keep pulling at his hair? Nynaeve doesn't even have to be around and there's still hair tugging. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even notice that, like, at all.
Yeah, I believe that the next book is the first book out of the blog.
I think so.
No, I swear I already figured out who the reincarnated people were. Let me.
I can't remember who else is dead.
This is vaguely sounding familiar. I need to watch a recap already for the last book.
I was so over the slog. Like, the slog was just not fun.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the specifics.
I looked it up. It was not her.
Did you spoil yourself?
So you potentially spoiled yourself.
No, because I remember that I figured it out last time. I just can't remember what I figured out.
Did you figure it out, or was it an education?
I do remember that.
No, I did figure it out.
Okay, cool.
Because what I looked up was not new information to me.
Okay.
I'm just like,
my question.
If there's no body, there's no proof of death.
But also, Lan and Moraine was bonded, and the bond broke.
They went boom. They went boom.
Do bonds transcend dimensions? Do water bonds exist in bracelet dimensions?
I feel like with Robert Jordan, probably.
You
The slog was not needed.
You know,
I feel like that was just.
Stop trying to eat. She's trying to drink wine out of my mouth.
Book 8 was the only book that I really felt was like sloggy.
Which one?
I think it was
Oh, I
9.
didn't have that.
9 was the worst one, maybe. I
Yeah.
remember thinking that 10 wasn't as bad as I thought people made it out to be, because people were like, oh, Perry makes that book unbearable and he's not very present in it.
8 was the one that had no Matt.
You actually skip crosses with one. I need to go back to it, or did nothing happen? Just read the last chapter.
Lots of things happened.
If you read the last chapter of Crossroads of Twilight and then the 3-hour prologue of the next book, that should about cover it. Plus, actually, things haven't been proceeding, because what book did they cleanse the power?
Like 3 books ago. Something.
And we still, at the end of Crossroads of Twilight, have people going, oh, the men are going mad. And it's like, no, the men aren't going mad anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody's communicating.
It's just because no one has bothered.
Well, because we talked about that last time.
Egwene.
It was only like
No one
2
bothered to
weeks
tell
had
Egwene.
passed from the time.
We haven't seen Eileen and Rand on any of them in like 3 books, because like they're busy cleansing the swords while everyone is going around drinking tea.
No, we've seen Rand briefly.
Yeah, but he's just in like the steading place, being like, "Ew."
Yeah,
where he is.
Him and Min are just being gross, but it's fine. He's having children now, but
Elaine is pregnant.
He is.
The pregnancy.
Well, he has 3 women.
Why
he can have kids with all of them at the same time.
I might actually.
Why did the testing require so much nakedness? That's my question.
That did feel very repetitive as well, compared to, was it, who got tested before? Was it Nynaeve or Egwene? Egwene?
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, these specific instances were different, but also it was similar enough that I was like, I don't care about any of this, because I've already seen the process of the testing before.
Yeah, it was different though, because the novice.
Yeah.
The test they did before was they had to face a past, present, and future situation, and when the sign to leave arrived, they had to resist the temptation to stay. And then this was like 100 different tests of situations where they had to fight their way out while performing specific weaves in the correct order.
How does it change?
Well, it's different because one was just the test between the levels, and one was the full test to become an Aes Sedai, was the one that we just saw this time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. But still lots of nakedness in both of them.
Yeah. I think it's just because Robert Jordan feels that the most embarrassing thing for a woman should be to be without her clothes.
So the next prologue in the next book is 93 pages long.
Oh my god. At the start of the book, when the Amelin died, Moiraine was wearing a dress with some weird embroidery on it that everyone reacted very strongly to. Do any of you know what that was? I'm very curious. I thought that it was that the dress was inappropriate for a funeral, but it was the only one that she had in a colour that was close enough to be appropriate for mourning. So I think they're supposed to wear like pale, like white dresses, but like plain ones, and she only had like a very pale blue one that was covered in embroidery.
She assigned herself the penance to wear the lightest blue dress that she hated because she'd done something wrong. And it just so happened to be one of the ones that the seamstress had covered in embroidery.
Wasn't it also supposed to be like they only wear white for like very serious situations, or if they're very close to the person that died? And it was because she chose to wear a dress that was so pale, everyone, when nobody else was, she was like, why is she taking it so seriously, kind of thing, when nobody else was?
I don't think so. I thought everyone was wearing white because it was mentioned how the only ones who were wearing black were the white Aja, and no one else found it strange, but Moiraine did. They were wearing black ribbons in their hair instead of white because they wear white every day. And Moiraine was the only one who found it strange, so she thought it must be one of their Aja's customs because no one else denied it.
Oh, because she said that not enough people have died for her to know what the Aes Sedai customs are for death, like generally.
I thought it was interesting too, because we read from Lan's perspective how much he didn't want to be bonded and how much he didn't want to be bonded. And then at the end, she asks him, and he's like, "Okay, it's fine."
I was thinking about that. Is it because everyone died at that point? So he was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Because
No,
everyone
but-
died in that final battle.
But she told him that they were fighting the shadow and like the battle will come and she's in the middle of it and he knows that she knows things, so he wanted to be a part of that since
Yep.
he also wanted to battle the shadow.
But it was just interesting reading that perspective because we know he's going to bond with her.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mhm.
you wanted to
I
add
felt
some
like-
drama.
I felt like that happened way too quick and easily at the end. And then the
Yeah.
book was just over.
Yeah, no, it was very much a case of like the fight scene came out of nowhere and was over very quickly again, which is standard. Also, Robert Jordan in his little afterword called this a novella, which by his standards it is, but also it's not a novella.
200 pages in my edition.
Yeah. He also said that he wanted it to be an introduction to the Wheel of Time, so he said that you can't read it first. So, like, if you've already read the Wheel of Time, you'll understand more about it than if you haven't. But also, if you haven't, it's basic enough that you can get an introduction.
Well, there you go. So he meant it as an introduction, so it doesn't matter that Moiraine's dead. That's how he wanted to introduce the series.
Also, but it
I
says
don't
here, by
know.
the way, in the beginning of the book, it says that the phrases "the Wheel of Time" and "the Dragon Reborn" and the snake wheel symbol are trademarks of Robert Jordan. Doesn't mean he has like copyrighted being able to say "the Dragon Reborn." So, like, if I write a fantasy book and I say, "Oh, but the Wheel of Time," will I get like sued?
If you have a character in your book called the Dragon Reborn, then yes, you will.
But like, I feel like saying that Time's wheel is not like unique to Robert Jordan.
I've definitely
Um,
seen it elsewhere, but I feel like they probably are pulling from his inspiration potentially. I
But
don't
he
know.
said that he took that the time is a wheel from Buddhism.
And well, I mean, cyclical time frames are very common in
Yeah.
fantasy in general.
Yes, I'm like, what does that mean? If I write, I mean, maybe you can't write the wheel of time, but I'm like, but what if someone says in a
I
sentence?
think it'll be like one, it'll be capitalized, and also like if you refer to time as a wheel once, it's fine. But if you
Yeah.
use the wheel of time to mean something, then that's not okay.
And you can't use the
Look at how
snake
purple my
symbol.
teeth have gone from my wine.
Can't see it. Your teeth, they look white.
Yeah, like and my tongue.
Oh, your
Your
tongue,
tongue
looks-
looks
yes.
purple, but your teeth still look white.
your teeth looks white.
Maybe Brandon Sanderson will bring Moraine back. Maybe she
That's-
turns up in the Stormlight Archive.
That's cheating.
But yeah, it was
Maybe
just
she's a
interesting
wallpaper.
that it is like copyrighted to him or like trademarks of him. It's just interesting to think about.
I've
Like-
seen worse things be trademarked that is like really ridiculous, and I can't think of any examples right now, but it's like really innocuous things that you would use generally in
You
day-to-day
should
language.
trademark
but
Bookopoly.
I would love to, but I'm afraid that Hasbro, I think, one of the games companies have already made like a version, so and they got more money than I do.
Yeah.
Wait,
Quite a
are you
few.
saying that someone made officially like a game version of Bookopoly?
Yeah, but I think it existed before I did Bookopoly, but I can't remember what the gist of like what the point
Can
of it
you-
is. But
can
it
you,
was
like,
an actual
buy that
board
game?
Yeah, you can buy Bookopoly. But I think I'm gonna Google Bookopoly and see if I come up before.
I'm gonna Google Bookopoly too now. Bookopoly. Oh, it's like an actual game. Bookopoly.
Yeah,
Board game
But is there a Spookopoly?
from ages 8 and
Very
above
good
includes sculpt. But like, what do you do?
Well,
Just
my
mock
trying
me
to
and
Google
look
sit
just
there. Just mock
my
me and
Google
sit
just
there.
brought up Boo-opoly, which is the Halloween version of Monopoly.
But you can't buy it anymore. Like, it's not for sale anymore.
it was when I started Bookopoly, but I think it's just Monopoly, but you buy books. So like Black Beauty's a book, and you buy it as a property.
And that's so.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's so boring. It's not Bookopoly.
Didn't SJM copyright SJM? That's interesting.
But like, I don't know. Like, If I made Bookopoly, could you sue me?
No, because I don't have the copyright to it.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
No, she's gonna do it because I can't sue her. It's not a problem.
I can't do it until I've been to your house and stolen all your boards.
You can get your own.
Hasbro might sue you, but
I'll tell Hasbro what you've done, and they'll sue you.
Mm-mm.
Why
I
the
would be like-
copies of the board? The copies of the boards are on the Google Drives anyway. Why do you
True.
need the real ones?
You have some good points. I could just make the board.
Yeah, and that's always been something that is available to you, but here we are.
Sandra likes to make things complicated. We know this about her.
I thought it was so much more fun to go to your house and play the board.
She just really wants to go to Becca's house.
I just really want
for
to go
any
to your house,
reason.
and I want to ruin your gate.
Oh, okay.
The cost of printing a copy versus the cost of traveling all the way to Becca's.
Yeah, but
You
how
know.
do you print like a full version? Because then you need many different papers, and then put them all together, it look ugly.
G always makes a big version, and she just sends it to be printed by a professional printing company. It probably costs like £5 or something.
No,
Yeah.
I live in Norway. It's not going to cost me £5.
Well, have it printed in England and shipped to you, and it'll probably cost about £10.
Do you not have like the equivalent of a Kinko's in Norway?
What's a
The
Kinko?
A print
The
shop?
print shop.
A
I
place where you
used one
go
for
to
my
get things printed?
exam, but I don't know if they're still in business. But because I always print out like the tiny version because like it's
Yeah.
on like a A4. This is such a not relevant conversation. New
Which has
spring,
been
guys.
pretty much this entire live.
I don't think we have anything else to say.
I'm sorry.
She just screamed because she dropped a book. Yeah,
No,
she
I
did.
dropped my phone or one of my phones.
Oh, that's valid. Was it your actual phone or your drug dealing phone?
My drug dealing phone.
Just to clarify to the chat, Sandra allegedly doesn't deal drugs, but she has 2 phones, which I think is suspicious. So
I have
that is-
2 phones, but one's a work phone and one's a personal phone.
But those
Yeah,
those
so
are too
Sandra as well.
fancy to be drug phones. They're not
I
flip
have
phones.
my personal phone and the phone I use only to use my reading app.
You're bougie.
It was
That
because
is really-
I had all my stats on the Apple and I couldn't transfer to the Android.
no.
Either way, someone in the comments say something about the book so we can talk about the book for the last 15 minutes.
There was a lot of talk about fashion and tight dresses and loose dresses and colors of
Yeah.
dresses and there was and nakedness and not wearing dresses.
Well, that was one thing I wanted to ask about because Moraine thought that they were going to put her on the sun throne, right? For like a moment, she thought that, but then they didn't, and I'm like, why? Why didn't they? You should have just done
But
it.
she ran away.
She
I
ran away,
forgot
so
that
they
part.
couldn't. That was where I started to. I didn't love this book as much. I was enjoying it more until she ran away. Because I thought the point of this book was that they were actually going to find Rand or find a record of him, but then they just didn't.
No.
Yeah,
That's
I
what they
don't
were
think
working toward.
I don't think she found him until the start of the first book. I think she spent that entire time going through that list of names.
That is
Oh my
a
God.
long time.
But like all those
Wow.
the thought left my brain.
Do we know what happened to the second Aes Sedai? Because obviously when we start the series, Swan is the Aes Sedai. Which is interesting because in this book, isn't Moraine more talented than her? Like, they're very similar, but Moraine's stronger.
Which second acid are you talking
I
about?
know. I think
Not
they
Amaranth.
said.
Yeah, Moraine.
Ah,
I think
That's
they
what I
said
meant.
that they were pretty lockstep when it came to the power. It was just that she always felt that Suan had more of the leadership quality, and she tended to defer to that.
But I thought that Swan was also the more volatile of the two.
yeah,
well.
but they also said that Moraine kept following her, remember? Like even
Yeah,
though
that's
she was
true.
noble, she followed Swan into bed.
And Swan was the one who... Go ahead.
They talked a lot about when that new Amerlin came, about how harsh and stuff she was. And I know they've made mention, but I don't remember the names. They've made mention in previous books how I think there'd been like 2 Amerlins in history who had been deposed from the throne, deposed from their seat. Does anyone remember what the new Amerlin's name was?
No.
I don't have a physical copy, so I can't look.
Would she be in New Spring? Like, if you go onto the character things in the app, would you be able to find her easily?
She should be, because that's what I was going to
Google
try to look her up.
Because I don't think she's referenced enough that you can find her easily in the book. Tamra?
Tamara.
Tamra. She was the one who died.
It says that she was murdered by the Black Aja.
Who's the other one then? Because there's a section for Amelin C on the thing, which is what I clicked on, but it's just the one at the start of the book, not the other one.
It says that she's murdered, and the next one was Sean.
No, because she died. What? The second one died?
She was murdered by the Black Aja.
But I thought that they thought that she was Black Aja.
No, it says here she's murdered by the Black Aja, or the head of the Black Aja. The one who died, or the one who murdered?
The one who was murdered. The second one.
Tamra
was the first one, and she was murdered.
Yeah, but it says after her is Jan Sanche.
No, because Saren Vayu, it says, was raised to the Amelin seat after the death of Tamra Ospenya.
Oh, yep, she apparently was just wasn't on this list. No, wait, yeah, okay, so it's Tamra Ospenya, and then it's Sirene Vayu, and then it's Marit Jean, and then it's
one. I feel like they're going through Amelins really quickly.
It doesn't say
or anything.
The next one sat for Tamra sat for 6 years, and the next one just sat for like 6 years too, and the next one was 4, and then Sion sat for like 11.
Because they don't get voted out or anything, do they? They just until they die, they're the Amelin. So like, and with them living so long, why are they all dying so quickly?
Do you want me to check where they died?
Yeah.
She was raised. Doesn't say anything about how she died.
It does say Swan learned much more quickly than anyone else, like the languages and the history and all the stuff that they probably have to learn to be in charge.
It says she just mysteriously died, but it was apparently revealed that a small group of Red Ajas just murdered her. And then the next one after that was someone called Marit Jean. And she died, I will see. Marit was the last of 3 Amelins that died in a short stretch of time. It was natural causes. And then Sion Sanche was after her.
Okay.
They just be murdering all the Amerlins for political reasons.
Yeah, so those 3 died really fast.
That they would kill them all, but they wouldn't kill Swan when they don't like Swan either because she's blue and they hate the blues.
Yeah, I don't know. So then it says
she's actively working against the red and the black.
Yeah. Well, now you know.
Well, since there's so much in factions, it kind of makes sense that, I mean, whichever one gets raised, the other groups may not, even though they're supposed to be impartial, they're not really going to necessarily be impartial, and it'll spark people wanting to change the leadership, maybe.
It says the one who have been sitting the longest was only for 92 years. It's not even that long. But wasn't there something about like the outside leaves?
92 years isn't that long.
No, because like you remember they met the women's circle in the other city, and they have been living for like hundreds of years. They were much older than the others.
But that was
Yeah,
because
but
of the way that they use their magic and stuff, isn't it? That keeps them long.
Yeah.
Like the being
Yeah.
an actual Aes Sedai
Aes Sedai
shortens the
don't
life
live that long.
compared to like the others.
It's interesting.
Because the Aes Sedai also get sent into battle all the time and killed.
They were thinking it had to do with the oath rod and the oaths that they swear. That's why Egwene kind of ventured the topic of what about retirement, where you are released from the 3 oaths and can go and live out the rest of your days, because she's pretty sure it's the oath rod and the 3 oaths that are shortening the lifespan.
Oh, that was true. That was why.
They said just send them all out like they did with Everand and the other lady that she lived with in the woods. Also gay.
Yes.
Everyone is
Very
gay.
gay.
But it's a gay because what we're doing is like, ooh, diversity is a gay because he's just like, lesbians, you know?
That's the question. Also, I think that he was pretty religious, so it's weird, like, having a series that starts in the 90s written by an old man having lesbians is pretty progressive.
Is it impressive or is it pervert? Who knows?
I said progressive, not oppressive.
Oh. I thought you said impressive.
No. Definitely the second. I feel bad for this man, actually, because we read him for Phil all the time, and I don't know anything about him, apart from I've read his books. Like, literally, I don't know anything about the man.
I mean,
he did say Ghetto tattoos, that's all I know.
You know that he was married to his editor, Harriet?
Yes, and
that he's dead.
First, yeah?
And was he Mormon?
Brandon Sanderson is, but I don't know about Robert Jordan.
I think Robert Jordan tried his best. So do I.
Because it's just his old-fashioned values and the fact that I know that he was at least somewhat religious that makes me question the lesbians, whether they're intentional or whether reading it from a 2024 perspective, they're like, lesbians.
But
he was only 58 when he died. I suppose that was back in the day when 58 looked like 75.
No,
I know the picture I've seen of him.
He apparently had complications related to myeloma.
He just died in the late 2010s, so it's not that
long since he died.
Not that old.
Becca, he was sick. That's why he died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When did he die?
Apparently, he described himself as Episcopalian, but he was also a student of world religion, which explains much of the religious diversity in his work. I don't know.
2007.
I saw that, but okay.
I do think he tried his best, and it obviously took him far, even after death.
See, this is an old photo, so this photo is like well before 2007, and he looks old there.
Yeah.
Like, if you asked me how old that man was, I would say 60. And he was old.
He looks like he lived a rough life.
It's like with the Golden Girls and the Sex and the City characters, the same age.
What?
But obviously look very different.
But maybe the ones in the Sex and the City have more Botox than Robert Jordan did.
What did you just say?
The Golden Girls and the Sex and the City characters are the same age.
In their 40s?
Yeah.
The Golden Girls were only supposed to be in their 40s?
At the beginning, I'm sure, yeah. Or the actors were that played them.
I think you just broke my brain. Okay.
But think about the people on TV. They are molded to look younger, and look fresher. Like, he was just a normal guy. He didn't have a makeup team that put makeup on him for 4 hours, you know.
All the teenage shows are played by people in their 20s
or 30s.
Yeah.
TV has destroyed my ability to tell what a real teenager looks like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I see teenagers in real life, but the like even worse parts is that we had like volunteers in our library, and I thought that they were like my age, and then I heard that they were 13, and I was like.
No, see, I see a real teenager, and I'm like, no way, you got to be like 10.
I'm trying to back up my thing, my proclamation with some evidence now, and I'm trying to do the maths and it's hard.
Well, maybe they were the same in the reboot of Sex and the City and Golden Girls, but still very different.
Who's the other Golden Girl? I'm missing one. BR.
Yeah.
Maybe it is the reboot.
I've never actually seen the Golden Girls. I've just like seen like pictures or like clips.
I would admit that I don't know what you're talking about. What is the Golden Girls?
It's a sitcom.
You know Betty White?
I heard the name, but I don't know who that is.
Well, you're missing out. But she's probably she's definitely, I would say, the biggest name that came out of it, but they were all good actresses.
I was too busy watching reruns of The Nanny that were on at the same time of reruns of the Golden Girls.
That was a good one too.
I don't know what The Nanny is either.
Or the movie.
I might. Now I feel left out.
Fran Drescher is iconic, Sandra. You need to go watch The Nanny.
She is indeed. I enjoyed The Nanny too.
But I just keep rewatching Attack on Titan instead. Like, that's where I'm at.
Well, if that's what makes you happy.
Not that this is about
I don't know. I don't know what that is. So
I am obsessed with the bear.
I mean, I've heard it. I know it's like an anime and possibly a manga, but I don't actually know what it is.
Well, you know it's a manga and an anime, so you know what it is. I'm fine with that. I really want to watch The Bear too, Becca, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's so good. It's so.
But is it better than What We Do in the Shadows? Sorry, I had a moment.
Is it better than? I would say yes, but they're very different because The Bear makes me want to cry all of the time, but is also funny, whereas What We Do in the Shadows is just funny.
Yeah, I know I want to watch it like soonish, but I as I said, I just keep rewatching Attack on Titan. So
The Bear is on my list, but I haven't tried it yet.
It's so good. Like, you have to make it through the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then it's just so good. But like, it's about cooking, but it's actually about mental health, and it's just like everything that's happy that happens is also sad, and it's just destroying my life.
I just binged season 3 of Heartstopper yesterday because I rewatched season 2 on Friday.
I haven't got there yet.
I haven't even watched season 2.
I'm also watching the Adam Brody sitcom thing, rom-com as well.
How is that? Because I love Kristen Stewart, or not Kristen Stewart. I love Kristen Bell, but I don't really like him. So I was torn on whether I'm going to watch that.
I want to Kristen Stewart. Okay. Oh! What happened?
I don't accept Adam Brody slander.
I've never seen the OC, okay? I have very limited things to go off of, but I didn't enjoy what I've seen.
The love of my life when I was a teenager, and he's still the love of my life now.
Leighton Meester might have a problem with that.
Yeah. Oh, are they still together?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's cool. He used to be with
married.
Rachel Bilson. That was better.
They're married. I think they have a kid.
Cute. I think they do, because I think I looked it up, actually, at some point. But I didn't know that they were still together. That's nice.
My current rewatch is Lucifer. I keep just rewatching things. I don't get to anything new.
Show.
I also just keep rewatching things because I just don't want to deal with new things.
I don't want to deal with the fact that shows can end without an ending. So, like, I just watch ones where I know how it ends.
That's fair.
I've just been putting easy things on that I don't really have to pay attention to while I crochet and finish this stupid thing hand that I'm so close to being done with. But
oh, wow. I can't believe you're still doing that.
I did watch A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and considering all the slander I heard about it, it was not as bad as everyone was making it out to be.
Fair.
I haven't watched that, but I haven't even read a book yet either. I don't know if it's actually good. Like, people say it's good, but I don't trust.
I
feel like I would actually like that show because I love a YA thriller. And I know it's more of a mystery, but like YA thrillers are my jam.
I watched the entire thing in one day. Like, I thought it was good.
I do want to check it out.
have the
And
book
that
on my
was-
shelf, so eventually I will read it, and eventually I will watch it. But who
Does
knows? They start
anybody in the
removing
chat-
shows now, so who knows?
Does
I'm one of the
anybody in the chat have
controversial people.
anything about the book that they would like us to
No.
talk about?
No.
Is anyone still in the chat listening to the
I'm so
rambling?
sorry. We are just talking TV shows now.
Oh, I get that because it is a British TV book.
What, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder?
Yeah, so the main character was played by an American, which I didn't know, but I understand why people would be annoyed
Did
at
she
that.
speak British in the show?
Yes.
Although
Who
there was somebody, I think, in Becca's Discord who was confused because they made the show British, and we had to explain that it actually was a British book. It's just that they rewrote it for the Americans to be an American.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
So
she
if
does
you
that.
buy it-
If you buy it in the States, is it like the places are American?
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
That
it's
is
not
so
just
weird.
terminology, they rewrote the locations and everything, which
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
I'm reading Long Live Evil right now, and that is by an Irish author, but the main character is from Oklahoma. And there's nothing about the book that's overtly British, but I can just tell an American didn't write it. So it annoys me that the girl's from Oklahoma, because it's like, I can just tell that you're not American. And it's
You know-
not, there's nothing in the text that overtly screams not American, but I just know that it's not American.
That's interesting because I'm gonna read that one really soon, so I'll have to keep that in mind and see if she screams not American to me.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was just
Especially because it's set in a fantasy world as well. Because it's like literally set in the real world for a chapter, and then it goes into a fantasy world. I'm like, it didn't need to be American.
But I was going to say that, like, the person who played the main character in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and was not British, like, I'm sorry, but who cares? Edward Cullen is British. Robert Pattinson is British.
So many of our shows have British people playing Americans. I mean,
Exactly.
look at Walking Dead. Aren't half of them?
Tom Holland is British. He plays Peter Parker. Who cares? Is that a weird thing that I don't know?
No, because I also agree.
No, but it's like,
Half
if you're
the
just
time
gonna
I
be
don't know.
yeah, but even
until
like
I
if
see
you
them
could be a
talk.
basic white person, doesn't matter where that basic white person is from.
I think it's whether, because obviously I haven't seen it, whether they can convincingly play a British person. Because I feel like as a British person, we grow up with a lot of American TV, so we can fake American better than Americans can fake British. So like,
Maybe.
but then if they're following the script, then they should be fine. But I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Yeah,
think
with
the issue
some
is-
words she didn't
yeah.
convince with the accent.
But like, if you
That
did a
I
bad
would get
accent,
that.
that's like on her more than like I was gonna say that a American played a British person, because that happens all the time.
You do have it the other way around as well, where British people can't do a convincing American accent.
Very true.
Well, I guess that means that nobody has anything to say about Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
I did ask for
Just have-
questions.
We probably will have more to say for the 32-hour audiobook than the 20-hour.
I have
17
something
I
to say
probably won't,
about
but-
Wheel of Time
Okay.
before we
Okay.
leave, because
Well,
Kate
why are
Rennie
you
and
only
Michael-
saying it now? We've been
What?
here for an hour. I said, why are you only saying it now? We've been.
because I remember when we talked about accents.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
we have Michael Kramer and Kate Rennie, right? And I still don't know if they are British or American, because like they keep switching, and I don't know.
I think they're American, but they're that
think they're
American.
American.
You know, like, what was the accent? There's like a specific name for this American accent, and it's like the people who, I don't know, is it the people who moved to like New York, like way back when? You know, like Hollywood stars from the 50s, they have an American accent that could almost be British.
No, I don't know this.
Like a
But,
very posh
Because when there was
kind
an
of
interview
sounding.
with them,
Yeah.
I feel like one of them, if I remember correctly, because I didn't watch it done, like they spoke in a British accent. I was like, but I thought they were American, and now I don't know.
No, I think they're American.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm done now. That was it.
But they are the kind of American where, like, not that they're trying to be British, but they have that, like, it's like, I say they're not trying to be British because, you know, that unaccented type of British that a lot of people think is all British accents. It's like an American kind of version of that.
Huh. They're both
Oh, they're
American
from
from
New
New
York.
York. Interesting.
Michael Kramer
that's
definitely
something-
says American on Wiki.
Why do
He's
you
from
know that?
Minnesota.
Why do you know this, Emily? Why do you
She's
know
Brooklyn.
this?
She's so much cooler than he is. I do no, they're definitely American, because something that throws me about it is that they're American, because I'm so used to listening to fantasy in a British accent, because obviously you guys didn't have medieval times, so medieval fantasy is always British. So it's weird to me that it's an American narration.
You know, you said that before, and it never even occurs to me.
It never,
I
no,
don't-
because when I said that before, that's when I had the realization that you guys don't have a medieval time, so all medieval, because I'm like, medieval fantasy is so like specific, and it's because it only occurred in a certain part of the world, because you guys didn't exist. Like, there was no United States.
Excuse me, we had Vikings. I live in Norway.
True, but it wasn't medieval times, it was Viking times.
Yeah. Sorry. We were just raiding.
Yeah.
Well, Kate
Ooh.
Redding is an alias for Jennifer Meadenhall, who is an American actress. So,
Actress?
yeah, I don't know who she is, but she's an actress apparently.
I love how you said that. You're like, she's an actress, apparently. Which we were like, whatever.
Well, I was trying to Google her name, and her name's hard to Google because reading and Kate, neither of those
That's
are
probably
very
why
unique,
she
and so
has
I
it
wondered
as
why I kept
a-
getting in Jennifer.
Probably why she has it as
There's
name. You can't
like-
Google her.
Like, one of her acting credits is reporter. So, photo, Yeah.
She's that kind of actress.
phone operator.
Given how many audiobooks she narrates, she doesn't have a ton of time to be out there acting.
That's true.
Okay, now I am done talking about the book. Next. Oh my god. Next book is Knife of Dreams. It will be on my channel.
I don't know where it goes after me.
No, it's mine, and then because that was last time.
But I thought it was you, because you should come before me. Or did Deb go because I didn't want to last time?
No, because Deb last time was Deb's first one because I just had it, and then we switched it to Deb, and then we took you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'm next time, and we are reading book 11, and we will be in. Is it December then?
Yes.
Christmas.
Not Christmas.
Well, it should be
won't
early December, right?
Yeah, like probably. I mean, we could check our calendars ish now. That's what we usually do.
Calendars
Probably.
ish. If you have a collection of stones that you just move around in the corner, check that instead.
I don't know. I work probably one of the Sundays, but like we usually have the live show when I'm done at work anyway.
The second Sunday is the 8th of December if we're doing second
That's a good
Sundays.
target.
Yeah, because like it probably won't be the first.
The first
Yeah,
feels too
and-
early.
We don't want to go later because I don't want to do a wheel of. I don't want my Christmas room.
And actually, the first is Thanksgiving weekend in the U.S.
That's very true.
Isn't-
I mean,
It
it's
will
the end of
probably
Thanksgiving weekend.
December?
but still.
Ooh.
Well, because it's the fourth Thursday, which is the 28th. So
Yeah.
the four-day weekend where a lot of people are out of town goes till the first.
we will probably
That's
do
so
the
weird.
8th. If it doesn't fit for the 8th, we will probably do the 15th of December.
I mean, I would think that finishing your final Robert Jordan written book, Wheel of Time book, would be an amazing Christmas present for you, Becca.
That is true. That is true.
Are we gonna do the 29th, guys? No, I'm joking. Just have a
I
whole
would not be
Christmas.
here, and it's not on my channel, so I don't have to be.
Becca
just-
suddenly pieces out. She's like, "No, not Nat's gonna finish it by
I
the
do
end of
not
the year.
work.
Becca's just gonna stop."
The only thing I do between Christmas and New Year is a Patreon live show, and that is only if I have to. Which, looking at this year, I do not have to because I can do it on the 23rd of December, which is the Monday, and then I can do it in January. So I will not be working that week.
I will be working that week because I work in a store where everyone is not from Bergen, so everyone leaves, and then I'm the only one who can work.
Colin, no, because I still have not caught up. and it's annoying me.
No, that's the next read along I will force Becca into.
I've already done it. I'm on my second time. I'm not doing it again.
Third time is the charm, you know.
I will definitely do it again.
Exactly.
On my own, maybe.
You're really
Okay,
cute
guys.
in your
Well,
hair.
what?
Your hair was really cute now. Okay, bye.
Oh, was it not cute before?
No, but like when you put it up, it was extra
For
cute.
the last hour and 10, no. But right now.
Cheeky. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us today. We will be back in December. Oh, I'm just going to give just a little plug. If you all want to see everybody but Ambly again, there's an announcement going up on Tuesday. Very different. Very different.
That's so sad.
That was hosted by me. Maybe Ambly will turn up there at some point. But yeah, I will see you all very soon. Bye.